wow, I was sitting back there and just like my heart's just racing, and I'm up here now and my heart's racing even more. So this weekend I kind of shared a little bit about my testimony, and growing up, I have been verbally abused, mentally abused, spiritually abused, sexually abused, and physically abused. I don't know if all the abuses. I have just a lot. And I had to deal with that, and I didn't know how. And so in middle school, I started cutting, and it was a long process. And last year, I attempted suicide 3 times, and just so I shared this with the women at the retreat, and like there's freedom in telling people things, and everyone always like, Michaela, like I see God in you, and it's like, who are you looking at? Who are you talking about? Like, no. And just like it was reaffirmed when I came back, and like the Lord just grabs onto me. It's like, Michaela, how bitter should you be right now? With everything you've gone through, you should be completely bitter. But I'm not bitter. I am not bitter at all. That's the Lord. I had to leave early because Sunday morning I had the puppy raiser meeting. I don't have the dog with me right now, but and so I had to leave. And just that next morning when I woke up, like AJ prayed over us and was just like, just let everyone have like a great sleep. I do not sleep well. I have night terrors or whatever, and best sleep ever. Felt so good. And I had this dream, and just like all the women who are there, like this house is like, it's not a house, it's like a mansion. And there's these stairs that goes down in a basement and then upstairs, and all of us women were like crammed on these stairs. And it's like, this is a mansion. We could be just spread out everywhere, but no, we're on the stairs, crammed all together. People are low, people are high, and God's just at the top. And the whole thing that AJ was explaining this weekend is that you have people above you that are pouring into you, and then you have people below you that you are pouring into them, and you've got people on your side that you're just linking arms with. And it's just like, it's this water that the Lord is just blown out on us, and it's just like it's getting passed down, and we're all linking. We're just my words cannot describe the feeling that I had, and just so and AJ was also talking about probing, and it's like God wants to probe you, and He wants to heal those wounds, and I was in darkness, that's where I was at, and right now, the Lord doesn't have a probe. He has this big metal wire brush that He's just pushing in there, putting it out. And I just want to say that once I am healed by God, watch out, world. So this weekend, I was really bold. And I stepped out in faith, and you don't have to, but if you have struggled with cutting, thoughts of suicide or attempted suicides, I really want to encourage you to stand up, and the people around you are just going to touch you, and we want to pray for you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So if you want to step out in boldness, I dare you.
And everyone else just reach your arm.
And if you can't get close to him, just reach out.
Yeah. That's what you're doing. Yeah.
Father, you have knitted us from every inner delicate part. And God, you know every thread in our body. You know every thought that we have. You know when we sit down. You know when we stand up. You know when we're doing whatever. You put words into our mouth before we even think them, Lord. And you are a God that can heal wounds on the outside and wounds on the inside, God. And right now, these people, I thank you so much that they stepped out in boldness, that they stepped up, and God, just heal them. Heal them. The pain that they feel, the pain that they have felt, God, just heal that. Because there is a room full of people who love them. And most of all, you love them. You created them. You love them. God, and I just pray that if they are struggling, that they can just turn to someone and say, hey, I need prayer. And have them not be ashamed by it, because we are all broken. We are all hurting. And that's what we were created to do, is to just help others and just pray for others. And God, we lift them up to you tonight. And we pray this in your son's name. Amen.
Amen. I felt the need to get up here, and so I decided I'm going to share some of my past. I come from a past where I have not talked about it, and just this last term, somebody came up to me and was like, hey, I want to get to know you. And I just dumped my entire testimony on them, and they were kind of shocked, but were like, that's so cool. And I'm like, well, you can think that. I came from a sexually abused past, and I'm currently battling cancer. And I have epilepsy, and it piles on. I've got broken my back twice, and everything just kind of takes a turn. As something gets better, something gets worse, and something gets better, and something gets worse. And so, coming here, I was just kind of like, coming to school this fall, I was scared to death. I couldn't do anything by myself beforehand because of my seizures and everything. So I was really nervous coming to school and stuff, and then I had some roommate conflict and ended up having to move halls. And the thing was, as a freshman, you don't really know very many people. And I lived in Barnum, so you just kind of knew your roommates. Nobody really knows anybody else. And so moving was really hard for me. But then I was able to kind of get into a hall that I had met some people beforehand. And most of my hall is actually here tonight. I got into a really good hall, and they've really been able to kind of help me just kind of move through all of the struggles that I'm having these days. And I decided that I was ready to get baptized. I decided that I'm ready to just give it all to God and just let Him have my life. So that's my life.
I did not go to the Women's Retreat this weekend. I was on a bus on the way to Idaho for a track meet, which I'm not complaining because it's fun, but I had a lot of downtime. So, actually I'm going to sit down. I had a lot of downtime. This one? Yeah? Sorry. Okay, anyway. So, I had a lot of downtime sitting on the bus, and I wrote a little something, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Okay, so it's, oh gosh, my hands are going to shake, sorry. But I titled it Disbelief. So here goes nothing. I shut my eyes tight and my ears too. My palms touch as I pray to you. I say, gimme, gimme, gimme what I don't got. I pray to the good Lord and don't stop. I make promises that can only be unkept. I search to put worth in my step. When I finally get that currency that I so desperately thirsted for, I push my provider out the door. But I say, thank you, I gotta respect my elders. And then I learned that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, our Creator. As quick as it began, my impression of love is shattered, but now I feel like I don't even matter. My tears do not fall, but spell out disbelief. I think that my broken heart is a pain impossible of relief. I pick up all the pieces and carry them defensively. I say, no, they're mine, matter-of-factly. I shove them into a box and it takes its toll. Under my bed sits a never-ending, all-consuming, soul-wrenching black hole. And in reality, all the horses and all the men cannot put my heart back together again. See, what I didn't know was that I could not do things without him. I jumped into the pool of life but refused to learn how to swim. With no light, I walked the path far too dim. My anger blinded me and I could not recognize my compulsive lies. Independent, shot-caller, self-sufficient unbeliever. Self-seeking, completely ridiculous, sin-wreaking, and supercilious. I slowly but surely probe in that box and one by one lift my pieces of my battered heart. He says, "Hush, child, this is my favorite part." He takes it and my heart radiates regret. He says, "Your past has been put to bed." My tears don't fall, they spell out disbelief. For my broken heart has been given relief. I am overwhelmed when I ask Abba, "What is my case?" He says, "Your debt has been paid by my son's amazing grace." You see, Jesus loved you and gave his life so you didn't have to. My tears don't fall, they spell out disbelief, for my debt has been released. Now I walk into life with no fear, because I know that his presence is always here. Worshipping, praising, loving, highly piled, loyal, grateful, seeking child. The corners of my smile ache from overuse, but I'll never use that as an excuse. I smile because I know I am loved by a creator in the heavens that are above.
So, do you hear that? Like, that's my heartbeat right now. So, I went to the women's retreat. I did. I met really amazing people. It was really, really great. And you ever get, like, advice that just sticks with you? Just like, I gotta share this. So call my mom, call my dad, and I was like, I wonder if there'll be open mic. And there's open mic, so here I am. So at the retreat, we had, can everyone hear me okay? Okay. So we had a group of ladies, amazing ladies, come just talk to us at lunch and whatever was on their heart. Sorry, I'm really nervous. And I talked to someone who's here right now. She's amazing. I thank God for meeting her. And I'm just the kind of person that just worries. Like, my mind always wonders, I have an exam, I have a paper, I have this, I have that. And so I was telling this person about this, and here's what she tells me, so I'm going to share it with you. It was a vision God gave her, and it's an illustration. She says, there's a Beetle Volkswagen, okay? Just picture it just on a road. Jesus steps into it. He starts the car and puts it in gear and starts driving down the road. The Volkswagen is you. Jesus needs to take the wheel and guide you down the road he wants you to go. Not you, him. You just need to let him take control and give all your worries to him. And I'm like, but my mind, like, I can't just do that. So I just prayed about it, and it's great to just let him take the wheel. Because if two people try to drive a car, you're gonna swerve and crash and don't want to go into that. Oh my God. So you just want to let God just take the wheel and give all your worries to him and just let him take you down the path, and you'll arrive at the destination he wants you to be, not you, and then just keep going.
Yeah.
So when I was little, I was adopted by my aunt and uncle, and I didn't find out until I was like 5. And even at that age, I was still kind of like, I always went to church, and to me, it's like I understood who God was and stuff. But as I got older, I had visitations with my birth mom, and they were never the best. Like, they were never good visitations, and I just remember never wanting to leave my aunt and uncle's sight. And when I was about 8, I got taken away by the cops, and I just remember like thinking to myself, like, why is this happening to me? Like, why no kid should be in this position? And having 9 other brothers and sisters that were from the same mom and all adopted out, I kind of didn't, like, I always believed in God, but I never found it in me to like completely, like, I don't know how you say it, to really see like who he is and why like so many people looked up to him if like he was willingly just letting kids go out the door and, you know, not giving them the best life. And up to last year, you know, my first term of college was not the best, and I made decisions that I regret and I wish I could take back, but I can't. And my 19th birthday was in November, and I got a call from my mom, and you know, yearly call saying she loves me and she misses me, and I decided that I didn't have the best birthday, so I was gonna flip out on her. And I just told her how I felt, and I left the conversation stating, I don't like you, I don't want anything to do with you, like, just because God has forgiven you, like, I don't forgive you. And I hung up the phone, and I don't know why, but I just started bawling my eyes out, and like the only thing I could do was just start like praying to God and like just asking like how, like why am I in this position, why, like no, to me I just didn't understand like how a parent could, you know, give up a kid and think that they'll be okay. And so I just sat there crying and praying and just like asking for forgiveness for all the things that I was doing. And I don't think I've cried as much in my whole entire life as I did that one night. My roommate walked in and just like looked at me like, okay, what's going on with you? And she like slowly walked out, and I just kept crying, and I cried for about an hour and a half. And ever since that day, I've been like, I don't know what it is, everything has been like fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I've been, you know, just school, friends, family, and like I've been going to church every week now and talking to my friend like on a daily basis about God. And I don't know what it is, but I feel that thanks to God, I'm slowly beginning to church with my mom. And it's still taking time, but I just think that praying to God and everything is actually getting me somewhere and sending me in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. So a couple years ago, we just prayed for Hannah, I think it is, and you hear about people like healings and stuff. And I know there's some people that are like, I don't know if I believe it. People have prayed over me, and I still have this ailment. I think it was about a year and a half ago. I was at a Bible study thing down in Eugene, and at one point, I was sitting next to one of my friends, and another guy came up and said, God gave me this list. It's just like someone has this that needs to be healed for, this, 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 and this. One of the items on that list was someone jammed their finger. And it was, I can't think of his name, but the guy sitting next to me, he's like, look at my finger, I just jammed it. He's like, whoa. So, we were sitting there, and he and I got to talking, and I said to him, do you think God can heal him? He's like, of course. I'm like, all right, give me your finger. I grabbed his hand, covering up the injury. I looked at him, and I asked him, do you believe that God can heal us? I asked him 3 times, and he said yes all 3 times. And then I said, do you believe it here? And he looked me square in the eye, and he said no. And we both like closed our eyes and we just started praying and crying. And then I asked him, it was, I don't know, 20 minutes, I don't know, I wasn't counting. But afterwards, I was looking at him and I asked him the same 3 questions. And I asked him again, and he said yes. And I let go of his finger, and he said, and it wasn't healed. And he looked at me and he said, it doesn't matter. He said he had this vision of God just started with him, and then creation of the earth, and it just exploded in his mind. And basically what God was saying is, it doesn't matter whether I heal your finger. The point is I can.
Yeah.
And I know that there's like, some people are like, well, I've been prayed over, I'm not healed. Sometimes it's our heart that needs to get healed first, but there's also some things that God gives us that doesn't seem good by the world standards, but through that, He can reveal himself to other people. I just want to, if anyone in this room was not a believer coming in and has through all this, they're like, whoa, this is weird, what's going on, but you're feeling something, it's God. Say, God, I want you. Like, ask him into his life, or ask him into your life. And look around the room, there's plenty of us to talk to, and ask anyone, and they will be able to help.
Really emotional. I just wanted to share with all of you guys that I realized this weekend when I was teaching the women's retreat that this October I will have given my life to Christ 15 years ago, and ever since. And what God is doing right now is so incredible. Every time he comes home from, who knows what hour it is in the morning after Wednesday night, he's just like so excited. And there have been things that we've been praying for a long time that God is just starting to move in. Like what he is doing in the Holy Spirit, he hasn't been able to do before because that generation wasn't ready. What he is doing in bridging the older seasoned saints with the younger, like there is a power and there is a movement that is coming that is unlike in the 15 years I have ever experienced. Like what a lot of these girls, like I went to the Jesus Culture Encounter for the first time, so jealous I didn't get to go last year and wanted to go this year, but the same thing happened with me. I wanted that experience and I wanted that last. And all God showed me was he's like, my presence is enough. And it's like the presence of the Lord is like, he's like, if you will just start there. Everything else is going to fall into place. But it's really hard because in our world we're really busy and we got a lot distracting us, and remaining and sitting and just enjoying God's presence is really hard to do. And he's going to meet you in that place. The other thing that God is doing is he's moving and healing in worship. God is moving in this place and through worship like I've never seen before. And after coming back from Jesus Culture Encounter, it was like awkward and scary for me to be like, I think we're supposed to pray for physical healings because I've never experienced that. I've never been sure. I've seen and I've heard about it, but I took that step of faith and then it was confirmed in someone else who was on their part, and then that's when 6 hours of worship started. It's just like God is moving in a way that is very unique, and you guys are so blessed, and you guys, your heart's in the right place, and you're surging, and you're passionate, and you're hungry, and God is so blessed in what he is doing. I just want you to know, it just kind of was unreal to think after 15 years I've never experienced anything like, and this is just the beginning of what is happening. I'm really blessed that, for Scott and I, it is such a joy to serve you guys and to minister with you guys, and it is such a joy to watch you come in and go through all the hurt with you, and then to see God send you, and it's hard because you all leave, and so it's like, man, we gotta start over again. It's really hard because but how many of our friends are college students? How many of our closest people that we're doing ministry with are you guys? And it is such a blessing, and I just wanted you guys to know that. So.